Hello, and welcome to the Divine Feminine Leaders podcast. My name is Celeste Hartwell, and on a normal basis, we are a feminine view of entrepreneurship for women by women, and typically we're an interview series. But with the holidays, I felt really inspired to come on here and talk about something that's really near and dear in my heart, which is helping people be happier through the holidays. So if you caught last week's episode, we spoke on how to maintain being happier through the holidays with three really simple tips to do that when we're with other people. And I felt really inspired to come on this week and talk about how do we maintain being happier through the holidays if maybe we're spending time alone and we don't have family and support in that way. And so my intention for you with this material is to really help you feel the best that you can through this holiday season. As you know, it can be a time that can be very difficult for people if they can't be with their loved ones, if they can't be with the family that they used to be connected to. Maybe there's been something that's gone on there. And so I really believe that in every moment we have a choice, and we get to choose what we're focusing on and what we're feeling as a result of that. So our feelings really dictate our thoughts, and vice versa. It's kind of like this cycle that goes back and forth all the time. And so mindset is really something that I teach on a lot. It is something that I work on diligently with my clients. And so if this is new to you, I just invite you to be open. Just be open to whatever sticks for you in this episode, in this body of work is for you, and whatever doesn't, you can just let it go, right? Like, we get choice. So with that, I had three, again, simple, but may not be easy. I know that I think I said easy tips last week, but it may not always be easy. But these are simple things that can be done, and they're worth doing. So with that, I will get started. If you find yourself alone during the holiday season and you're finding that it doesn't really feel good to you, one really great way that you can kind of get out of whatever mind spin that you're going through. Because again, to me, I just believe that all of this is like inner work. Everything is like how other people are treating us, what's happening in our lives. Everything is a result of what we believe and what we're attracting as a result. And so sometimes we don't know what those beliefs are. And that's the work that I love to help people do. But other times we actually do know that the thoughts that come up and all that stuff. And so to me, the work is to shift that as often as possible. One thing that you can really do is find organizations. Maybe it's a soup kitchen, maybe it's an animal shelter, whatever that may be, but volunteer. I guarantee you that when you see the look on other people's faces and when you feel their love, this is really going to help you be happier through the holidays. It's going to help you give back. You're going to be coming from a place of joy. You're going to be coming from a place of love. And when we can get into that heart space and just get out of our own way, in a way, I don't know that I really like that terminology, but when we can get out of our own head rather, and be able to help others who may be less fortunate than us. What comes up for me around this is a story about, I went through a health crisis a few years ago, and I met with somebody who was an expert in that field later, and I had healed my body. I think it was about 4 months, 3 or 4 months. We'll say 4 on the outside. And when I met this expert, she said, nobody heals their body like this in 4 months. Like, that just does not happen. What was your secret? And I honestly, one of the biggest things that I had done was go online and look up what other people with this same ailment had gone through. And I realized like my body was fighting the good fight so much. Like I was in such a better position than those other people. And so this is not to compare or to judge, but it is to like help make you feel better, because at the end of the day, your life is dictated by your feelings, by your beliefs. And so it's okay to feel good. Like it's okay to feel good. I feel like I really need to say that. Um, it's good to feel good, and you're going to have a happier life when you allow yourself to feel good. So that story actually leads into the next piece, which is why, if you followed me for a while, you know I'm really big about Thankful Thursdays. Started off doing Facebook Lives on those, on my personal page, and some of them are on my business page, and been moving some of them to YouTube. And the reason is like gratitude is so powerful. And I'm so clear that it was gratitude. Like I finally was able to go, oh my God, look at how hard my body has been fighting in this particular instance, in this particular circumstance. I'm so grateful for what my body has been doing. I didn't even know that it was working so hard. And look at how all the health that I have. And by seeing other people's accounts of what they had been struggling with and what they had been going through. I also had a very emotional journey during that time of reformulating my relationship with food, and just getting really clear about where it was that I really saw myself being, and giving gratitude for the food that I was eating. I mean, here's the thing, like even if you were not in a space this holiday season that you find ideal, you still, I mean, what can you be grateful for? Can you be grateful for the fact that you have a roof over your head, that you have your own place, that you have clothes on your back, that you have heat on, you have lights, you have a cell phone, you have a device, some type of Wi-Fi to be able to watch or listen to this particular podcast? What are those things that you can really be grateful for? And I feel like I did talk about this in the last episode a little bit, which was, you know, sometimes fantasizing. My fantasy life is a place that I really like to go. And so I just bring that up again, because if you're lonely and you're wanting something different, you can do that in your mind. Nobody can stop you from doing that. And you get to decide how you feel in every single moment. So I just want to empower you with that information and let you know that nobody can tell you what's right or wrong in your own imagination. So that's another, it's funny that that came up again. That was definitely not planned, but it felt important to talk about. Living in your fantasy life is really powerful. And the third thing is, do what you love. If you're spending the day home and you're not spending it with other people, and what is the story that you're telling about that? And I ask that because sometimes when we're caught up in that story of like, I'm alone on Christmas, I'm alone through the holidays, I wish I had this, I wish I had that, how can you shift your perspective ever so slightly and be like, what a gift it is to be home alone and to be able to do things at my own pace, and to be able to eat the foods that I want to eat and watch the movies that I want to watch, and be able to, and my body lights up when I'm talking about this. For me, that means goosebumps. That means like I'm feeling really in alignment. I'm feeling really good. What can I dance around my kitchen, and maybe I'm getting takeout, like Chinese takeout, whatever. What is it that you really want to do? Maybe you like splurge and get like a nice bottle of wine or a nice bottle of sparkling apple juice or sparkling cider, because I personally don't drink. So like that lights me up. I get really excited to like drink something like bubbly and fizzy and in a nice glass that feels really decadent to me. And how can you set the stage? How can you make this a celebration? And if your desire is to have a partner in your life, you could set the place for them and energetically hold the space and envision, have that be part of your fantasy life, but actually physically make the space for them in your home. I mean, and that could just be something that you do throughout the day. If you feel inspired to do that, if you feel inspired to clean, if you feel inspired to sit and veg and Netflix or YouTube or whatever that is, right? But find some way that you can shift ever so slightly from a space of doom and gloom and I'm alone and I'm missing these people and I'm not going to lie, again, this is simple. Does not mean that it's easy. But it's important. And it's really completely invaluable. It's completely powerful and it's life-changing. I promise you that. And so you could even set an alarm on your phone for every hour. And I suggest this to my clients. You know, how do you feel? How do you feel on this hour? How do you feel on this hour? How do you want to feel? And really you have to move yourself into that feeling space before it actually, like before what you really desire in your life will show up. That's the secret to the law of attraction that is not widely taught. And I guess it is in some ways, but a lot of people just talk about manifestation instead of like the feeling work that really goes into that. And that doesn't mean not acknowledging your feelings. Like if you're feeling sad, say it. I feel sad. And I can move into gratitude. I'm so grateful that I get to spend this day by myself, that I get to watch this content, that I get to spend time with my animals or whatever that is. Maybe you want to give gratitude. The fact of the matter is that you cannot feel bad and give genuine gratitude in the same instance. And so this is why I feel like getting out of the house, volunteering in some way, maybe working out, dancing around the kitchen is what came up for me. I feel like I said that already, but it's come up a lot for me, which is like, it just feels good. Music feels good. And so if certain songs are going to put you in a space where you're like, oh, I remember that holiday and that was really nice, then don't listen to that. Listen to something that gets you excited, that gets you revved up, that gets you feeling really great, because here's the truth. You're worthy of feeling good. You deserve to feel good. You're innately worthy. You cannot do anything to fuck that up. You cannot do anything wrong. You have not done anything wrong. Everything that has happened to your life, good, bad, or indifferent, has just been here to teach you something. And sometimes if we don't get the lesson, it starts coming down more and more like a hammer, and it's not as pleasant. So if you're finding yourself in an unpleasant situation this holiday, just be like, I wonder what I'm learning here. And that gives you a totally different shift, right? Like, what am I learning? What's here for me? And that would be a really great journaling exercise. That was a lot more little tips and tricks than I had planned on sharing, but it's so important to shift your own space as much as you can. And it's okay to ask for help when you need it. That's one of the things that my work is really to help people empower them to do that on their own. But there's always a time where we're learning how to ride the bike with the training wheels, right? And we need a little bit of guidance, and we need a little bit of support as we grow our confidence and as we really move into the space where we can do this on our own. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's only good things when you're becoming aware of, oh, I really want something different. I'm not quite sure how to get there. So that's what I have for you today. It is a shorter episode. And next week, we're going to be talking about how to create a vision and how to really create what you want. And it again will be like 3 really easy tools that you can use, simple tools. Probably should stop using the word easy. Simple tools that you can use to create what you really want in this new year. And so I'm personally a person that believes that the new year can happen anytime. It doesn't need to happen on the 1st of January. It doesn't need to happen on a Monday. It doesn't need to happen on the 1st of the month. It can be a Tuesday. It can be 9 o'clock at night, and you can make a decision and shift everything in your life. So I say that because there doesn't need to be this pressure around the new year. And I want to honor the fact that many people really do feel like it's an energetic shift, that there's this new start, and that can be really fun to play with and all of that. So again, my name is Celeste Hartwell. This is the Divine Feminine Leaders Podcast. We are normally a feminine view of entrepreneurship for women by women. And this is also the crux of the work, is really empowering ourselves to feel better in every single moment. So that is why this is definitely still on target, as much as it may not look like that, because I really believe that self-care is the foundation to success. And it's one of the things that I work with my clients on. And it's something that I believe. And how do we take care of ourselves? We take care of ourselves by shifting our mindset, by practicing gratitude, by giving back from our heart space as often as possible. And that is really, really powerful. And it not only helps you, but it helps the planet, and it helps you feel good, which is really the most important thing, you feeling better. So I'm Celeste Hartwell. This is Divine Feminine Leaders. This is Happier Through the Holidays, part 2. And I so appreciate you listening. If you feel inspired, I would love it if you would, write a review so that other people can find this, and share with your social media following, with your friends and family, with those people who you feel like will really benefit from this particular episode or any of the other episodes in the past and in the future. So I love you guys so much. You can find us at divinefemineneleaders.com, and we're on YouTube as well. So I will talk to you later, and we will see you next week. Mwah! Happy holidays.